Why is the National Guard being deployed during the Great American Eclipse on April 8th? Michael Snyder reports. The National Guard is only supposed to be deployed in emergency situations. But these days, the National Guard is being used for all sorts of things. For example, hundreds of National Guard soldiers are being used to check the bags of those riding the subway system in New York City. That sets a very alarming precedent, and I don't understand why more people are not upset about this. And now we have learned that National Guard troops will be deployed during the Great American Eclipse on April 8th. What in the world do we expect to happen during this eclipse? Without a doubt, it will certainly be a historic event. As I have discussed previously, it's being projected that it will be the most viewed astronomical event in the entire history of our country, and virtually everyone in North America will be able to view at least a partial eclipse. Almost everyone in the continent will see at least a bit of the eclipse. The farther away you are from the path, the less of the eclipse you will see. Even in places like Seattle and Portland, Oregon, which are far from the path, about a third of the sun will be hidden. On April 8, millions of Americans will be traveling to locations where they will be in the path of the total solar eclipse. Oklahoma is being touted as one of the best states for that, and it's being reported that the Oklahoma National Guard will provide first responders as well as units with hazmat response capabilities. Oklahoma's National Guard is set to be deployed for the upcoming total solar eclipse when as many as 100,000 people are expected to visit one county. In the statement on Tuesday, the Guard said it would assist emergency management to cope with an unprecedented number of tourists on April 8 in McCurtain County in the southeast of the state. The Guard will provide first responders as well as units with hazmat response capabilities in case of an incident like an industrial fire. I can understand that they feel the need to be prepared. But bringing in the National Guard is overkill, don't you think? Residents of Oklahoma are being urged to stock up on gas and groceries prior to the eclipse, and they are also being instructed to have multiple forms of communication besides cellular telephone. To prepare for the eclipse, the state laid out some tips to plan ahead. Oklahomans should schedule errands and appointments a few days in advance before the eclipse, as well as stock up on gas and groceries. The state also recommends having multiple forms of communication besides cellular, being careful on the road, and staying updated on weather conditions. Seriously? They want people to do all this for an eclipse that is only going to last for a few minutes? Actually, Oklahoma is not the only state that is issuing such warnings. According to a Newsweek article entitled "Map Shows Warnings for People to Stock Up on Food Ahead of Solar Eclipse," at least 4 states have now warned their citizens to stock up on food. At least 4 states within the path of totality have urged residents to stock up on groceries before the eclipse. Some officials have already issued disaster declarations ahead of the event, and some schools have decided to close, citing student safety. Texas officials have issued a slew of warnings, including that people living within the path of totality should stock up on groceries and gas and run any errands, such as filling prescriptions, in the days before the eclipse. One official also urged pet owners to stock up on supplies for their animals. I realize that the areas that are in the direct path of the total eclipse are anticipating large numbers of visitors, but it feels like authorities are really going overboard. Just look at what officials in Hays County, Texas, are telling their residents to do. Parking issues, lack of parking, fees for parking, having to park and walk to your destination. Please park only in designated areas and not on private property or in areas that cause safety issues. Traffic delays and road closures. Longer waiting times for restaurants. Consider cooking at home instead of bring a small cooler with ready-to-eat food. More congestion, pedestrian and vehicles. Delayed emergency 911 response. Cell service interruption and lack of service. Why would that happen, I'd like to know. Now, higher than normal stress levels and or heated tempers. Credit card machines may not work. Bring cash. Why would credit card machines not work? And why would phone service be interrupted? I don't understand. In Arkansas, they actually held a live training exercise, quote unquote, that simulated emergencies that might happen during the eclipse. Can you believe that? With less than a month remaining before the Great American Solar Eclipse in Arkansas, the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management, ADEM, took a significant step to conduct a live training exercise. This exercise was designed to test ADEM's response to issues that may arise as visitors flock to Arkansas to witness the event. ADEM responders and other state agencies looked at possible scenarios such as severe weather, traffic, medical emergencies, and communication challenges. Taking part in the exercise were county emergency managers and representatives of the National Weather Service, Arkansas National Guard Corps of Engineers, Arkansas Hospital Association, Arkansas Wireless Information Network, and Arkansas Departments of Health, Transportation, Energy and Environment, and Human Services. Personally, I'm not expecting a major disaster or emergency on the day of the eclipse, but you never know, I could be wrong, and it's certainly inevitable that there will be a lot more surprise as the year rolls along. More surprises. In fact, during his recent interview with Tucker Carlson, former U.S. Representative Ron Paul specifically warned about the potential for a black swan event. Ron Paul, recognized for his consistent principles and foresight into economic and foreign policy, used the platform to express his concerns about unexpected, significant events that could catch the world by surprise. Ron Paul said, "I think we're reaching this point where some sudden thing is going to happen. I believe in that theory of the black swan. Yes, it's going to pop up and it's not going to be controllable," he said. "I don't think that there will be a black swan event on April 8th, Michael Snyder says, but the eclipse will be a very big deal. The giant X over America that the Great American Eclipse of 2017 started will be completed by the Great American Eclipse of 2024. And as the Great American Eclipse of 2024 moves across our nation, the sun, the moon, and other seven planets in our solar system will be lined up in the sky. Our entire solar system is literally screaming that this day is important. And you would think that more people would be talking about the giant X that is about to be completed directly over the New Madrid fault zone. Sadly, most of the population would quickly forget about this eclipse once it has passed, and that is extremely unfortunate." Michael Snyder reports on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. This is by Michael Snyder. It says about the author. Michael Snyder's extremely controversial new book entitled Chaos, available in paperback and for the Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 7 other books that are available on Amazon, including End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecy of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, commissions earned. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News, and he always freely and happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. You can connect with Michael on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and sharing his articles on your own social media accounts is definitely great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life." If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.